The United States this month, we are going to pass a milestone. The average price of a new car for the first time in U.S. history now exceeds $41,000. It's actually $41,044. That's according to J.D. Power. And they just put out their new forecast for automotive for the month of July. And we want to invite into the stream Tyson Jominy. He is the Vice President Data Analytics at J.D. Power. It's good to have you here. And we know that there's a supply chain issue that's driving up the price, but it's also demand. And when you and I talked about this not too long ago, you don't see that demand letting up even as the supply constraints ease up.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Adam. I mean, just as recently as April, our industry sales pace was running at 18.7 million. You know, how does that compare? Well, the industry peak back in 2016, it was only 17 and a half. So we were running far north of demand from the industry's peak sales year right up until, the past 2 months.
Tyson, if you don't see demand, I guess, abating anytime soon, then how much higher do you think the average price could go? Like Adam said, it's at a record high right now, just over 41,000. Are we talking a few more thousand, I guess, to the upside at this point?
Yeah, we don't see the elements here, dissipating too quickly. In fact, we'll see this low inventory position really persist throughout the remainder of 21 and well into 22. Demand has been high, particularly at the highest end of the market. I mean, we're talking vehicles over $80,000. We're up 150% year to date through June. And so there's a lot of demand. And so we will see prices continue to move up until we get more vehicles that potentially brings it down.
Tyson, how much of this is driven by the fact that interest rates are so low? I mean, interest rates on car loans are a little bit higher than what you might expect, but they're still lower than what they were 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the tailwinds for consumers. I mean, they're seeing high prices at the dealership, but they are getting an interest rate tailwind that's helping maintain monthly payments. So interest rates are a little bit over 4% on average for new vehicles. And so you're talking somewhere in the range of 80 to almost 100 basis points, depending on your starting line. So they get that, and they're also getting great value on used vehicles. I mean, trade-in values are through the roof. Used prices were up 24% last month.
Tyson, put this in perspective, I guess, just the sales pace aspect of it. How does it compare to what we saw a year ago, and how does it compare to the 2019 levels?
So we're definitely seeing the pinch now from inventory. I mean, July, the sales pace, we're going to be up about 4% from last year, but we're down 12% from 2019, which is kind of that stable comparison point that we're using. So things are not so great. But again, in April, we were running, a pace of 3.5 million north of this. So it's slowed down very quickly now. And we're getting pretty close to falling behind 2020's levels.
What about the dealers? The dealers are actually making out pretty well right now because the incentives that the manufacturers are offering, those are diminishing to get us to clear an inventory they don't need us to clear. It's not there.
Yeah, dealers are posting record profits. I mean, right now they're making about $4,200 per vehicle sale, including what they make on the arranging of financing for consumers. Dealers, that profit, that's up 220% from 2019. So most of the price power has gone to the dealers here in the past month or so. It has really taken off.
Tyson, you mentioned the high-end cars are really in demand, that massive jump that you mentioned. I guess, what are people buying, drilling down just a little bit deeper? What are people buying and what's really in favor at this point?
Well, I mean, we have a lot of new high-end cars out there, new Escalade, new Porsche Cayenne, new Porsche 911. We have the Model Y. Those are all flying. But, crazy enough, some of the vehicles that are the hardest to find right now in the country are minivans, of all things. We have about a 10-day supply of minivans in this country. We started with a low supply of them, but consumers have basically bought them all up for their summer road trips.
Tyson, I'm going to date myself, but the first new car I ever bought was a 1987 Hyundai Excel. It had air conditioning. That was the one option. No radio, 4 on the floor. Total cost was $5,700. Again, $5,700. But that was back in the days when you needed a sale to make the car go. Tyson, it's good to have you here. Tyson Jominy is the Vice President Data Analytics at J.D. Power, and we look forward to having him come back.